Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Hold on.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's the Collective Podcast. We are episode 58, and I'm just transitioning my audio. Sometimes you start off with technical difficulties, and that's what we got right now. Hold on. Okay, that should be there. Let's go to audio. All right, we see we've got somebody checking in. I'm working on the audio. Give me 1 second, please.
That's me. I'm just coming from my phone.
Oh, all right. Well, you give me 1
know
second.
what's happening.
You give me 1 second too, man. AirPods. Yo, turn the mic up in the headphones. Oh, I can see you, Big Rod. Baby hair 463.
I just
But
went from my
I know.
phone. Yeah.
I could tell what you did. Can you change the orientation? I mean, just turn the phone sideways.
Okay.
Come on, Android. It's not gonna change the camera view. It's cool. If you got to be like that, we'll work with it. So we'll keep it tight like this today. Sound good?
Let me see. It changes. I don't want to be shown up by. I don't want to be shown up by.
Please don't put yourself on on the hot seat, because I think the saying goes, "You have no choice. You have no choice but to be shown up by the iPhone and such." You want to try it again?
Yeah, I can't allow that.
Okay, well, there you go. Try it again. Let me ask you this: which one of us would switch first? That tells the story right there. Which one of us would switch first?
You.
And you know the answer. Don't tell stories, because I have inside information on you. So tell the world which one of us would switch sides first.
Definitely you.
Okay, so you're just not gonna be honest. All right, maybe I should have preceded the question with "please be honest." Okay, so if it's up to Rod Jr., who switches first? There he is. There he is. And I asked that question because I want to say, and I don't know if Rod Sr. is going to be honest or not, but Rod Jr. tried to install lots of iOS apps on his Android and basically bricked his Android.
Yes, he did.
So my question to you is, and Rod, wait, hold on, because I see I'm all about honesty, and you know that's always been my moniker. We joke about a lot of stuff, but I want to be honest, and it's very important in our friendship and also in our friendship circle, because we basically had the biggest liar in the history of my life in our circle and just didn't know it. That little boy Blue boy, he's a bad guy. Hey, so Rod,
since you put it that way, yes, I would probably change first. My children want iPhones, so yeah, I'll probably change first.
Good morning, Elaine. So how's the sound? It's not buzzing, right?
No, not through my phone.
Good morning, Elaine L. Williams. Shout out to you. When I posted it yesterday, Elaine said, got it. So I'm like, all right, she's not gonna miss it today. She's gonna be all in. She knows. Yeah, so we're a little late this morning. It's my fault. Rob was there, but my situation was such that actually I restarted my machine and then walked away from it and then forgot to log in. And so when I got back to the machine, I still had to log in, and so it still had to do all of its loading and all of that. Wait a minute, Roy Hillstock. Roy Hillstock, of course, he's an Android. What's up, Roy? What's up, Uncle Roy? Elaine, Android for life. Let me ask you guys a question. So I've literally been using Apple products my entire life. None of you have been using Androids your entire lives because you guys are all a little more experienced than me. My question is, why would you commit the rest of your lives to Android not knowing what is to come? That's a lot on it. Just to get back at me for being an Apple guy? Come on, Android for life. It's not even going to be called Android in like 5 years. It's going to be called Digital Brick. What's your Saucier Senior? Wait, Robert Saucier Senior.
That's funny.
I know Anthony Kyles is coming. Anyway, good morning, everybody. This is episode 58 of the Collective Podcast. Boy, do I look forward to this all week. I got my man Saucier Senior with me. I am AC from LA, and we are the Collective Podcast. I think Trey is still part of the Collective Podcast, but I'm just putting it out there in the public eye. I don't know. Like, he hasn't been on in weeks. Cobbs hasn't been on either, but Cobbs is a guest. And I think Cobbs has been on twice since the last time Trey was here. And Trey is not even in the group chat. He just, he's not paying dues. Like, I don't know. So if you guys know where Trey is, tell him we said hello. I might have to change this little banner. But anyway, episode 58 of the Collective Podcast. We got a little bit to get to. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Oh, your daughter switched. Okay. Wait a minute. So first of all, let's get all this on here. So the good morning from Elaine. Yeah, facts. Good morning. Then we got Uncle Roy. That's my uncle-in-law. Android for Dan. He even spelled forever kind of funny. I wonder, is that autocorrect on the Android? Spelled forever like that. And then we got Android for life from Elaine. Roy shot to be back. And then we got Elaine letting us know that her daughter switched from Android for life. That's really, really interesting, Elaine. My condolences to your daughter's Android. And but well, I can't say. Yeah, let me just. Yeah. Okay, cool. Not surprised. I'll leave it at that. So check it out. We lost some people in hip hop. We already talked about DMX, but right after we went off the air, we lost Black Rob, and during the week, we lost Shock G / Humpty Hump. And yeah,
really hurt. He got me through college.
Talk about it, right? Talk about it. As a matter of fact, listen, I'm gonna play a couple of clips soon. Not clips. Well, yeah, music clips, which we rarely do here. But right now, let's let Rod talk about it getting him through college. And Rod, I'm gonna go grab my drink. I'm listening, but I'm just gonna focus on you.
Yeah, man. My roommate and I, we probably listen to Digital Underground every single day. 91, 92.
91?
Yeah, every single day we listen to Digital Underground. It was in constant rotation. And I actually had some friends who knew Shock G from the Bay Area, and he was a serious musician. He wasn't just a rapper. He played several instruments, and he was the real deal. He could sing, he could do it all. So he's a big loss, a big loss. Not
Yeah,
the other two weren't, but for me, he was huge.
fact. And for me, coming from here, from Southern California, but having Northern California as my second home, I always had an affinity for the Bay Area and what the Bay Area contributed to my life and to the world overall. Um, and so when you look at Shock G and putting together the group, I'm not saying that he put it together by himself, but being a part of. Am I frozen on your end, Rob? Am I
No,
frozen? Okay.
nothing.
Just,
Yeah. What?
what
Move
do you
your
say?
move an arm or something. Let me see.
I'm moving.
Yes,
So I
you
am
are.
frozen.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Keep talking, Rod. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
And my camera has me like Batman. Um, I don't understand while I'm on the edge of my screen.
Can you so you can't move your phone to the left or right to get you more focused?
Yeah, I keep trying to like stay in the middle, but it has me slanted like the old Batman movies.
I don't know. Okay, so you can hear me, but I don't know what's going on with my video. So I'll figure it out. Um, Let me see. Specifically Samsung. All right, going back to that because you must be using a Mac because you froze. That's funny. It's there's so nothing on my Mac is frozen except for this app. So this has nothing to do with the Mac or Android unless StreamYard is built on some type of Android technology, and it might be because you can only use it in Chrome or Edge. You can't use it in Safari, which is an Apple product, so it's subject to do this freezing stuff. All right, so let me figure my video out, Rod. I'm gonna kick it back to you.
Right,
Hold me down while I try to figure this out.
I got you. So in the news this week, let me see. If you've been missing the Dodgers Padres series, you're missing a serious series between the two. They have really been battling back and forth. Um, the game the other night, the Dodgers lost 3-2, but they actually tied it in the seventh when they were down 2-0. Some kind of way, Padres got on base, got a man in with no outs, and then what looked like a sure run coming for the Dodgers, it turned up nothing with a man on third. So series has been great. Dodgers lost last night, but that's gonna be a battle in the playoffs. San Diego is definitely legit this year. Definitely. In other news, Tender Love Davis is back. Anthony Davis returned for the Lakers. Made absolutely no difference, but he's back. I can see you now. It's just dark.
Yeah, it picked up the wrong camera because I'm using a different browser.
Okay.
I also have to check the audio, make sure that it's got my AirPods. Oh, it does. All right, cool. Um, yeah. So sorry, Rod. Yes, Elaine, I am using a Mac, but again, it's not about the Mac. It's about the browser. So I had to shut down Microsoft Edge which was only frozen in StreamYard, which is what I'm telling you. Like, it's the app. It's only frozen in StreamYard. Hold on. What is this? Are they really trying to give away the Tory Pines game? No. Okay, he's crazy. So I had to come into Chrome. So I'm in Chrome, Elaine, and I'm on a Mac every week. And the funnier thing is I'm on a discontinued Mac that I repurposed, and it still blazes anything that you have. So we don't want to get down. You don't want to get down. I do want to get down. I want all the smoke. Give me all the smoke. Did you see the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference this week? Do you see what's on the horizon? Hey, is the heater on in my house? Let me check Nest, because I just got hot. I don't know. Maybe Elaine turned up the heat on me. Maybe Elaine has me nervous. Maybe I'm shaking in my boots.
Wow.
The heat is on. The heat is on. Who did that? Brianna's not here. She must be joking. Turning on the heat while I'm sitting up here sweating. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Let me kick my intro. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a podcast to step to. Think of how many week shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you. We back. Episode 58, the Collective Podcast. Boy, do I look forward to this all week. Not sure what Rodney's doing. He's walking around. He's showing us his house. He's on the right part of the screen. And Rodney is saying to you guys that it looks peculiar to him. But if you look at Rodney's profile picture on Facebook, it's the same kind of thing. This dude will not recrop that picture and repost it. When I first met him, he had that picture up, and I had to wait like 6 months until we got comfortable with each other. And I was like, Rod, you're just in the right of the picture, right? Like, are you trying to show the tree too? Because like the tree is in the middle. If you just recrop it, so it looked just like this. Go to Rodney's profile picture.
No, that picture, I cut some people out, so it was just me.
Okay.
That picture is actually
on the other side.
5 or 6 of us in the picture.
I knew something was going on. See, he never told me that part. I knew something was going on because it just didn't make sense. All right, so if we wanna like play a verse from Shock G, which song you want it from?
Ooh, Do What You Like. I think that might be my favorite. One of my
Absolutely. All right, let me work on that, my brother. Actually, let's just rock. Tell me if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
No.
It's not going through? All right. Well, that's actually a good thing. All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share it, and then I should be able to share the sound too. He probably played, I mean, I know there was some sampling on this, but he probably played some instruments on it.
Yeah, he did.
Can you hear it?
Nope.
Or no? Okay. All right, we'll try that later. I'm trying to add stuff. Let me see. Audio. There should be a way to share the sound when I'm. Oh well, we'll do it later. All right. So we'll remove that. So what I'm also trying to figure out is if there's a way to get my dad on here. Oh, that's Brianna. Hold on. Okay, I gotta call her ride, so take it away for a second.
All right. Where do we start? Because I can't see everybody's comments either. Well, I can see
Oh,
you.
because right now Elaine's the only one commenting, so you
Oh,
can you were telling you were talking about the Padres Dodgers. You want to finish that? But hold on, I'll be right back.
yeah. Let me see. Um, yeah, that's a good series going on. Anthony Davis is back, which means that LeBron probably will be. Man, my mouth is dragging this morning. LeBron will probably be back in the next few games. The Lakers actually hadn't played bad since both were gone. I know a lot of people thought that they would be out of it for the playoffs, but they held it together pretty good. So it's a good chance that they'll still keep a lower seed, which doesn't really mean anything for them because they can play at home or away, pretty much the same. But the opponent may be a tough thing for them, but I doubt it. I think they have a few games to get some chemistry. They should be good. Some of these teams it's hard to watch because their stars don't play every night, and that's been my constant gripe. Um, while I'm talking basketball, just a prayer for that young kid that lost his life in that car accident from the University of Kentucky, Terrence Clark. Um, I know my son knows him, and they've talked a few times here and there in different places. So my son knew right away. Um, his car allegedly was speeding, ran a red light, smashed into a car that was making a left turn, then hit a pole, then hit a wall. And he didn't have on a seatbelt and was ejected from the car. So that's a horrible way to go at only 19 years old with so much in front of him. He was declared for the NBA draft. He had just signed with Clutch Sports. Um, and I'm sure Clutch Sports doesn't just sign anyone, so he was probably a guaranteed first round draft pick. Um, and that's just a sad ending. He was out in the valley in California. So prayers for his family, friends. That's unfortunate to pass away so young. Other news, we had Vanessa Bryant ending the contract that Kobe had with Nike. Said that she felt, and well, apparently Kobe felt prior to that they didn't make sizes available for kids enough in his products, and they didn't put enough out there of his products in after he retired. Um, what I didn't know until recently was that Kobe's shoes and products sold basically more than anyone else's. Um, and was the shoes were a player favorite. So a lot of people buy Jordans, but they just wear them to sport around town. They actually love playing in Kobe's, and I've always liked the look of them. I've never owned a pair, but I thought about just grabbing a pair before they discontinued them completely, just because. But he's always made some really good looking shoes. He was pretty innovative dude when it comes to style and his whole thing. So they're starting a new brand. Simone Biles also left Nike, and she's joined a new company that's catered for women. So those are a couple of big things going on in the news for sports.
Okay. So Rod, you're nifty. I have some follow up questions on the Vanessa Bryant thing, but your nifty Android doesn't have anything where you can like stabilize your phone because we're getting
I'm actually
seasick.
holding it.
We're getting seasick.
Yeah, I'm
Elaine
actually
said we
holding.
on Catalina Express. um, so you're saying that the estate of Kobe Bryant is starting a brand? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, yeah.
An
They
apparel
have
brand.
an apparel brand.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
using his logo and his likeness. Yeah.
Okay. Um. All right. That's very interesting. We'll see how that goes. Um. Yes, I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how they can wear their Jordans for 2 hours, and then anything beyond that, it's a wrap, and they try to play in them, and their feet don't work anymore. So yeah, yeah. So
I've never been a Jordan shoe fan. I don't see I just don't see the have to have thing in them. And I just refuse to pay $300 on some shoes that went for 120 and 85 or 86, and they're just making different colors of the same shoes. I can't do it.
there you go. So Elaine let us know that Vanessa Bryant and the estate are working on patents. My man, my mellow, Roderick Chanel. See, I haven't even gotten to this yet. Rod is my guy. Okay, my dad is in, so I got to work on getting my dad in with just audio. So Dad, I can see you, but let me finish this up, and I'll work on you in a second. Roderick Chanel was my first friend at Orville Wright Junior High. And I can't say I was his first friend at Orville Wright because I'm not sure if any of the people that he already knew from prior to sixth grade showed up to Orville Wright. But I was being bussed in from 95th and Hoover. Well, I wasn't being bussed in. I caught the bus, the RTD. In fact, I never caught a school bus. Um, so I caught the RTD, what was it, the 84 down Manchester? No, not the 84. What was it? The 115. Caught the 115 down Manchester. And yeah. So right. I used to save up money that I would get for like cutting. I wasn't very good at it, but cutting people's lawns and like washing windows and stuff like that. Like I just knew I was gonna blow up in my window washing business, and then I realized that was hard. It was hard stuff. So anyway, saved up my money, and we would go to this restaurant called The Grinder on Manchester and Sepulveda, and we would like diligently like get up way earlier, get to the Grinder, and have breakfast before going to school. Like we had business meetings
Wow.
in the sixth grade, in the seventh grade. Like, how does that even happen? But anyway, this is my guy Roderick, Roddy T. He put me on to golf, and I didn't run with it when he ran with it, but he's the one that set me up to buy that first set of clubs in 2002. Why do I remember that it's 2002? Because I found the receipt in my Nike golf bag the other day from buying the bag in 2002, the bag that I've now given to my sister because I still have the 19-year-old clubs, which I will be upgrading this year, but I have a new bag, a UCLA cooler bag. Anyway, Roderick and I are supposed to be golfing tomorrow at 5:22 a.m. and I hope it's going to happen. But what I haven't told Rod yet, and it's funny because you're both Rod to me, what I haven't told Roderick yet is that I'm nursing lower back tailbone disruption from earlier in the week. And I'm hoping that today is a good day and I'm back 100%. If not, then that 522 may not happen. But I'm gonna let you know by like noon today. Anyway, shout out to Rod coming on the podcast. So Rod is telling us he didn't know about Simone. I didn't either. I don't know about the kid from Kentucky other than what you just said, Rod, and I wasn't ready for that story, so I don't know that I even heard everything. I don't necessarily want you to go back to it because it seems extremely sad, and I can talk to you about it later. But and then he's telling us that what that Kobe, from what he understands, Kobe was looking to join other players to start this new brand. So I don't know if these other players will be involved with the estate on it happening, or if the estate is just going in a completely different direction. But stay tuned. I am very interested in this, and I'm gonna tell you, I definitely want what is affordable for the masses, the underprivileged masses. And if that's something that they're pushing for, then great. I know that Shaquille had that push throughout his entire career, but his stuff was just ugly. So that, I mean, there's nothing else you can say about that. And Stephon Marbury too, but his Starburys were ugly. So, and then they didn't have the whole apparel and all that. I mean, Shaquille's logo was just him dunking, and that was all over everything on the brand. And like, I don't know. It was weird. All right, Rod, back to you. I'm gonna try to figure out what I could do with my dad. Let me check something. All right, so if I'm here, can I move my audio? So all right, so listen, you say it's a good series. I agree, but boy, what, we've been lost 3 in a row now. No, we beat Seattle the second game, and now we lost 2 to San Diego, 2 in a row, right?
Yes.
So, and we lost the last game of the 3-game series to San Diego. So let's see, it was 2-1. Now it's 2-3. So they're up on the season 3-2, right?
Yep.
And so that's our last 7 games, 3-4. Yeah, that's rough. 3-4 for the Dodgers last 7 games after winning 8 in a row. But I think I think 2 of those wins were actually part of the 8 in a row. So it's much worse than that. It's 1-4. Yeah, it's 1-4. No need to panic, but 1-4 is not a wonderful thing. Would you agree?
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
I gotta figure out how to do that.
And Bellinger is struggling to get back, so I like Mookie in center field. They keep moving him around, but I really like him in center field.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Rod, do you have a button at the bottom of your screen? Like, do you have this menu like mute, stop cam, mic, share, invite?
Yeah.
Okay. Dad, do you have that? If so, just hit stop cam. Bam. That's all we needed to do.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to my pops, AC Carter Sr. He doesn't have the right lighting in his background, so he's just gonna guest up with us with no video, but he's gonna give his take. So shout out to AC Senior. This is what we've been trying to do for some time, but I wasn't really clear on what the mission was, and so we talked during the week, and I finally found out the mission. So we got him on. So shout out to my pops. What up?
All
The
right,
legend.
hey, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So welcome back to the Collective Podcast. Pops, this is episode 58. We're live. We got Roderick Tennell, my man, my mellow from all the way back in the mid 80s. My guys, 6th grade and beyond. Supposed to be golfing with him at 5:22 a.m. tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
What's up, everybody?
And then we have the legendary Elaine L. Williams. Elaine is from Northern California, but wound up in the Long Beach area. I'm not sure where specifically, but I met her in officiating.
Okay.
And then also wound up officiating her daughter, who wound up playing through high school and then finishing and then going to Long Beach State and playing there. So shout out to Elaine, shout out to Roddy T, shout out to my pops, and shout out to Uncle Roy, my uncle-in-law. Yeah, and then my dad is in, obviously, and he said, "What's up, everybody?" So, yep. So here we are. Let's get to it. Do we need to panic? Dodgers are 1-4 in their last 5 games. Do we need to panic?
No panic.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, let's back up before we go. We got some comments. All right, you want to read Diage's comments, right? Oh, can you see them on your phone?
Yeah, it's small. Let me see. When you are married to a genius, it rubs off on you. Vanessa Bryan is enacting all those pillow talk ideas that her genius hubby had been putting into her head for years. If mine passes, I'll be on a similar mission because you can't unthink and unknow all of that greatness. You know what?
Goodness gracious.
I've thought that same thing. I've thought the same thing, that he had to be giving her a lot and telling her his future plans. So she wasn't in the dark about a lot. She pretty much knows what to do and how to handle things.
Wow. So shout out to Diasia and shout out to Diasia's other half, because clearly Diasia's other half is that they clearly got some good pillow talk. I hope that happens in my house too, but I'm not sure how my other half feels about that. But I definitely I get the cerebral vibe from her. All right, so Roderick just rescheduled. Oh, excuse me. So I'm not golfing at 5:22 tomorrow, but I want to golf tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. See if, now that there's no pressure with Rod, who is an actual golfer, maybe, I don't know, maybe my dad will come out here and golf with Brianna and I. Maybe Brianna and I just go. We'll see. Thank you for that, Diasia. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, no panic on the Dodgers. Talk about it. Dad, Rod, listen, Dodgers, clearly best team in baseball, but 1-4 over their last 5, struggling through some injuries. Talk to me. And Elaine, talk too.
Much baseball.
A couple of those were blown saves here and there. Nothing they can't fix. It's not an issue. And
Okay.
you know that when a team that's trying to be a rival is, feeling themselves, it's gonna happen.
Long season.
But yeah, it's a long season, and when it matters, I think the Dodgers will be ready for it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of that when it matters, and I believe you. I agree. But we talked a lot about when it matters. Let me ask you a question. When does it matter? It's just too early to talk about it, right? Because it's not going to matter anytime soon. That's your point, right? We don't need to put a timeline on it. They were the first to 10 wins. They had the greatest run differential. I don't know if they've been caught now, probably so, especially after losing 62. Maybe the -4 from last night makes a difference. But the run differential had been in their favor, and they were just the best team. So I know they're still the best team, but you know how I love power rankings. So I wonder if they play again today, right? Is this a 3-game series or a 4-game series?
I think they play again today. I didn't look at the schedule.
Daddy, do they play the Padres again today?
Not sure.
All right.
I'm not sure.
I can hear. We heard you. Okay. Well, we'll check it out. Baseball has a zillion games, Elaine said.
It's a long season.
Yeah, 162 games. So we'll see what happens. All right, so back to the Lakers. The Lakers had the return of Anthony Davis, as Rod told us. Rod finally let him come back. Did he just play the 15 minutes in the first half that they were talking about, or did he play more than that? Did he play in the second half?
That I don't know. I didn't see the game.
Okay.
I saw highlights, and he struggled on offense. He didn't hit too many shots, but you know, others have to pick up the slack. I expected them, after beating some of the other teams, to beat Dallas by just playing defense, and Dallas got the best of them. But it's not Dallas is no one to fear.
Okay. Dallas is no one to fear.
No.
Now you're speaking of Dallas. Is that because are they the 4 seed right now and the Lakers are 5? Is that why you're saying that? Or are you just talking about because they played them?
In general, Dallas is no one to fear because they don't play defense at all. So
are the Lakers anyone to fear? I'm just asking. I'm not being facetious. I'm really asking.
When LeBron comes back, Tender Love Davis, he can't carry the load.
Yeah.
But with the two of them on the floor together, they should be fine.
That's it. That's enough.
And now Denver is kind of out of the mix because Jamal Murray tore his ACL, so he's gone, and they have no scoring. So a lot of the landscape is changing right now.
Okay. I'm with that. So landscape changing. So you're saying the Lakers will definitely make the playoffs, and now you're saying they may have a chance at the first round at home. Like they may make it to the 4 seed or better?
Yeah, because they still have like 15 games left at least.
Okay. I'm about to check that. I was a little back. I'm gonna come back to your question, Elaine. Hold on. Hey, Cobb. Well, first of all, shout out to Anthony Cobb, my guy. Send the love. He fell down 8 times. He can carry the love. Man. Hey, Cobb, when you coming back? We got a little, well, not a wager because I don't wager, but there's a poll wondering who's gonna make it back to the podcast first, you or Trey. And you clearly come every week and at least comment. We don't even know where he is. So when you coming back, brother? When you coming back? I really want Rod to answer this. How you feel about Drummond? Because Rod has an opinion on everyone in the NBA. And when they happen to grace the Lakers with their presence, boy, does he have a lot to say. So Rod, break down Drummond.
I don't know. I thought his play would translate into more, but it doesn't. It's almost like he doesn't fit. It doesn't look fluid when he's out there with the Lakers. And maybe he's still learning the plays or whatever, but I'm sure that he'll look better when LeBron is out there. The floor will open up some more, but it just, in the long run, he's a good fit. But right now, it's like players now don't bring any value to wins and losses. I mean, I don't even see value in Schroeder. Like, he was supposed to be that guy at point guard, that would stabilize things, and he's erratic and careless with the ball. So I don't know. But I think when you put LeBron and AD on the floor together, then all of the rest of them kind of fall in line.
Ravens are about draft picks.
Okay. All right. So my man Calvin Dean is here. This is my guy from, from 2000. Yeah, 2000. So I guess I've known you about 21 years, buddy. All right. So what about the bonehead trade of Orlando Brown? The Ravens traded Orlando Brown.
To the Chiefs, right?
Traded to the Chiefs.
Of all people.
Wow.
Well, tell me this. Riddle me this. What did they get back?
Draft picks.
That's what they want. That's what the Ravens are about. Draft picks.
So the Ravens are in rebuilding mode, or like what's up? Or they think they know better?
They probably overthought something.
Okay. All right. Well, Calvin Dean, if you could give us some more insight on how you feel about the trade. I mean, bonehead trade, clearly you would fire the GM, but doesn't Harbaugh have a hand in what happens there? And wait, who is the GM? Is still Ozzie Newsome?
No, he's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we would fight, Calvin. I'm ready to fight you if it was. Plus, I think he transitioned to like team president or something before he left. So okay, you could talk about the Ravens if it's not Ozzie Newsome.
But why do you take an all-pro tackle away from your star quarterback and give him away to another star quarterback that you're going to have to see in the playoffs? That makes no sense.
Because you have to pay tribute to the two-time defending AFC champs. It's like sacrificing. Like you sacrifice a cow because you think you'll get something good back. So you sacrifice your great player, your all-pro, your perennial all-pro to make the other team better. And you hope that through osmosis, you'll get better.
The draft picks. It's all about the draft picks.
And the draft picks weren't great. They got like a late first round, a third round, and a future first round. And they give up a second round. and a future sixth round, and their tackle.
But okay,
like who looked at that on paper and said, "Man, this is it." Who did
that? That's funny. So here's my question: would you trade Jonathan Ogden for draft picks?
Never.
No.
Not if you were getting 7. Never.
Yeah, no way.
So you definitely don't trade him in conference. You trade him if you're going to trade someone, trade him to the NFC where you don't see him.
Right.
So if Orlando Brown is the closest thing they have to Jonathan Ogden, the legend, the Bruin legend, and the NFL legend, and the football legend, Jonathan Ogden, overall great guy. Tell me, why do you do this? 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 13 games left, right? 13.
Okay. Yeah, that's if LeBron comes back in the next game or two, that's plenty of time.
Okay.
To even move up a spot or two.
A spot or two. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me look at the standings. I know that they are not going to move up in their actual division, but they could potentially move up in their conference. The division is impossible because they're 7 games behind the Clippers and the Suns.
Right.
And with 13 to go, they would need to collapse like the Lakers collapsed. So no, they can't move up 2 slots, Rod, but they could potentially move up 1 slot. So they could move up to 4, which is Denver. They're 3 games behind Denver.
And who's ahead of Denver?
The Clippers. And that's what I'm saying. They're 6.5 behind the Clippers and 7 behind the Suns, 9 behind the Jazz.
Okay.
So I don't know how the Clippers are 9-1 right now. Phoenix is 7-3. So it looks like those 3 are jockeying for the number 1 spot. Denver's actually 7-3 over its last 10, but I know, Jamal Murray. So we'll see what happens. But if they're just an overall better team than the Lakers, while the Lakers are trying to find that chemistry, then maybe they hold on to the 4. But I think that's the target. And I think that's the one. You're 3 games back with 13 to go. And they play the same amount of games. So there's like no half games involved in there. They each have 13 games left. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you do that with Orlando Brown. They're, I'll tell you this. I know why my team does a lot of things that it does, and I like the things that my team's doing. Speaking of which, let's talk about it. Hey, everybody, this is episode 58 of the Collective Podcast. I'm here with my man Rod Saucier Sr., my man Marmello, and I'm here with what's the opposite of saying my namesake? Because I'm his namesake. I don't know how to say that, but I'm here with my pops. We're here with my pops. ACC. Hey!
There he is. There he is.
The Cobster.
Man.
My baby's awake. Good morning, Munchie.
That's why I'm here, Munchie. That's who I came to see, Munchie.
Good morning, Munchie business.
My daughter, my girl's at Howard looking for an apartment, so I need to see Munchie. We need to see Munchie.
Man,
wow.
Congrats.
And DC is expensive for an apartment. Let me tell you from experience.
Studio costs $2,500.
Yeah, it's high. Gentrification.
My goodness.
Mr. Carter.
What's going on? Yeah, that's to you, Dad. So where is DuPont Circle in relation to that, right? Where's DuPont Circle?
From Howard, just closer to Georgetown.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
About a couple of miles, about 3 miles from Howard.
Some things I remember on my trips out there. Guys, I don't think you guys know this, but I was not one of the first. I wasn't an early adopter of Uber, of the Uber platform. Why do I mention this? Because I was at a bar in DC and we were done and I was ready. I think I was ready to walk, which was fine. I think it was about a mile away. And they were like, yo, let's get an Uber. I'm like, that's a car service, right? I'm thinking, that's like for Jay-Z and Beyonce. I really didn't know. But it was early. Like, I understood the concept, but I didn't understand how it could be affordable. Like I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, because I've paid for car services before, and I'm like from the airport. And I'm like, you just do that from the airport.
I feel a flex coming on.
No.
So me and Jay-Z are riding the Uber, right?
Pretty much.
So anyway, so I hopped in their Uber and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I think back then your Uber, you had to have a clean car. I don't know that you do now.
Man.
My goodness.
Ooh,
so listen,
I had it.
Go ahead, Rod. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I had a flat tire recently in my car. And so I had my car.
Go ahead and say what kind of car it is. In my
I had a flat in my sedan car. So I had my sedan car.
In my electric Tesla. I never had to get gas in. Go ahead.
I have my sedan car towed to American Tire Depot. And, they took the key and all that. Hey, baby, give me a second, okay? I'm going to come get you when we're off, okay?
Come on, Munchie.
You want to come say hi to everybody?
Come on in, Munchie.
Come on in. Just don't swing it open.
We need
just come in.
We need
come in the side.
Instant happiness.
All right. So I get it towed to American Tire Depot. It's now time for me to go pick it up. And I call an Uber. First, wait, why are you coming on that side? Come on the other side.
That's what I'm talking about. Just destroy the set.
It's $13 and it's 3 miles away. A few minutes later, it's $29. Like I've already hired it, but it's $29. No, the side, Kayla, stop coming through the middle. What are you doing?
Take a little cab.
It's now $29. Hey, man. Okay. What? Wait, what are you doing?
Daddy, I'm trying to ask you something.
Yeah, but why are you bringing bags in here? Kayla, just say hi to everybody. Like, you doing too much.
Kayla, hi.
That's it, Munchie. Hey, beautiful.
Right. There she is.
Oh, I can go about my day now. Shit.
So anyway, finally, I declined all of the better off, all of the upcharge offers, $29, $30, $27. It finally gets back down to $13. And boy, was this car, I feel like he pulled it. I feel like his car got towed like 2 years ago. And he finally got the money to get it back out. And when he got the money to get it back out, he flipped the Uber switch on and came and picked me up. It was filthy outside and in. And it's like, man, I have to pay you because I don't have a lot of time. Like it was a bad situation. So not a flex, but
they got regulations now. If you ain't clean, you off.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, when I went to DC the year before last, I got in a Uber from my hotel. Didn't realize that I could have actually walked where I was going. So I spent $8 for the Uber, and it was covered in bird poop when he pulled up.
Wow.
Covered like it had been sitting in storage for 6 months. And covered in bird poop. McDonald's bags.
No.
It smelled like jerk chicken. I mean, like there was food containers everywhere. And I'm dressed up in a suit going to a restaurant. And I'm like, I didn't want to even sit down. But the guy was super nice. I really want to tell him, dude, wash your car and vacuum it out.
But you didn't tell him.
I didn't tell him.
See, that's the problem with our community. We come on the podcast and we talk about what might have been. We talk about what should have been. But we don't educate these folks. We got to let them know.
Yeah,
hey,
man. You got to be part of the solution, Rod. You
got to be part of the solution, man.
I know. I just wanted to get out. I didn't want to. I didn't want to walk in a restaurant smelling like jerk chicken. I just wanted to hurry up and get out of there.
Hey,
so
there are worse things you can smell like.
Well, let's talk about it. So my sister told me, I called her from the car to tell her about what this dude was doing to me. And she said that 2 of her last 5 Uber rides were in vehicles that reeked of the ganja. She could smell it when they drove up. She opens the door and gets in, and it's like, damn. What if I were going to a job interview? I now smell like you in your car. So listen, if we have any Uber drivers out there, any Lyft drivers out there, please just clean your vehicle, refrain from smoking. Wait, first of all, you shouldn't be smoking while you're driving me around. So I was going to say eat your edibles, but no, you're driving me around, so I need you to be 100% alert. So just hold off on that. But
man, if you ever pass by LAX and what street is that? Where all the hotels are before you go into the airport, there's a street where all of the Uber people park. And if you ever pass down that parking lot where the Uber and Lyft drivers park,
Arbor Vitae?
Say it again.
Is it Arbor Vitae?
It might be. It's right in that area. But if you ever pass by there, you can just look over and see all of those guys standing out there, chain smoking cigarettes in the car. Some of them have their shoes and socks off with their feet up.
Wow.
So you get an Uber from the airport, you sitting on foot chips and Benson and Hedges ashes all the way.
Benson and Hedges.
Man,
wait, did you say Benson and Hedges?
I think.
Daddy, which one of your people? Daddy, which one of your people used to smoke Benson and Hedges?
All of
or was that Mama that smoked Benson and Hedges?
Your mama smoked. Oh, that's
no, that would be my grandmother.
Your mama smoked.
Those were the long brown cigarettes that the old people smoked in the 60s and 70s. I know my family members did, and they could talk to you, call your name, tell you to come inside the house and wash your hands without holding the cigarette, and the cigarette would never fall, and it looked like it was 9 inches long.
I think it was Mama. My dad smoked. He doesn't smoke now. Well, cigarettes, but his brand was Salem. I remember that damn green pack.
Yeah, my dad would send me to the store for a pack every now and then.
I thought it was right of passage. I was like, man, I can't wait to get them little thin cigarettes, them Virginia Slims. I'm gonna graduate to the Benson and Hedges. Can't wait.
Wow.
I
Wow.
can't wait. And have me a slit smoke like a bull. I can't wait. Have me a Colt 45.
You had it all mapped out.
Can't wait. Oh man, I was in the back room plotting. I'm gonna get me them long cigarettes. Get me a slit smoke like a bull.
Wow.
A bull gonna run up the wall like that commercial. It's gonna be
the power of television.
Think about Slits.
That's bad.
First of all, Slits has got to be German. Slits, malt, liquor, bull. Like
yeah. The commercials were low budget. With that big bull just running through the wall.
Hey,
but in the hood, man, this is very popular.
Oh man,
yes, it was.
That was some bad culture.
That
man.
was
My dad gave me a sip one time. I might have been 5. Like good sip of Slits. It was the coldest thing I've ever tasted in my life. I said, "Ooh, it tastes like trash, but it's cold." So,
oh, it was cold.
Oh man, you know how cold beer gets?
That would have gotten me because cold is the one.
I said, Hawaiian Punch don't get this cold.
Not at all.
When I finally had a beer with my dad, I felt like I had finally arrived. I actually like not
this is
hey
it.
Dad, let me take a sip of yours. But when he's like, hey, go in there and get us a couple beers. Let's sit down and watch this game or something. I feel like I had finally arrived. Like I am now a man.
That's terrible, man.
Nothing else prior to that made me feel more of a man than sitting down and having a beer with my daddy. Every time,
like Morgan Freeman on the roof of Shawshank Redemption, drinking a beer.
Yeah,
Couple of cold ones.
He moved to Vegas when I was in 12th grade, and every time I went to see him on weekends, he had a regular for us. My dad was a chef.
Couple of beers.
He would fry chicken wings. He would make biscuits, and he would pull out some E&J, and that's what we would have.
Little brandy.
And watch his favorite Harlem Nights every. Now Kayla's up, and now my waterhead is up. You can say hello because I know you want to get in the camera.
Hey, what up, Saucier?
Jody Doo-Wop.
That's Zaire. Yeah.
Saucier.
That's him.
You should call him Roberts. He don't want to be a Saucier.
What's up, Zaire? Robert Saucier. How you doing,
Roberts.
Yeah, Mr. Chicken Nugget. That's it.
Roberts.
He will sell his soul for chicken nuggets.
From Wendy's, right?
That's how you get big and strong.
He's off of Wendy's now. He's on chicken nuggets from McDonald's again. It bounces back and forth. There used to be a 4 for $4, but I think he's transitioned.
So would he actually choose the 4? Or you just knew the 4 that he wanted when it was a 4 for $4?
I knew the 4 he wanted.
Okay. So let's have a real talk now. Cobbs, I'm glad you're here. Daddy, I don't know if you've been following it, but I know
the bet, the Trey Hop bet. Is the bet that I come back before Trey Hop. I'm concerned. Where's our brother? Where is he?
Oh, you did ask. All right, here. You're here, but let's.
He's on the back of a milk carton right now.
21 minutes ago.
It's just 1,100 hours. Is it 800? Oh, 800 hours. Is he messed? Is his clock backwards? I want to come back to the real one of the real hosts of this show. It's disrespectful to come on the show when the real host ain't here. So I was trying to give him his chance. So
yeah, well, let me be clear. Let me be clear, but let me be delicate. In relation to this show, the last time we heard, now mind you, Trey is my friend, so we talk. But the last time that we heard from Trey about this show is the first time that we had it on a Saturday. In the group chat, he said, I'll be at the boys' practices at that time. Didn't give anything, like he didn't give an alternative. And then we found out that he was actually in Vegas. So he was.
I'm gonna give you a
So since
scenario.
then,
Y'all seen the 5 Heartbeats, right? Remember that scene when Flash got on the microphone and said, "I love this opportunity that y'all gave me to sing with y'all." But this will be my last song. I got an album coming out next week. It's Lonely at the Top. Trey Hop podcast. Thursdays at noon. The Trey Hop Show.
That's like my second favorite movie of all time. Behind Richard Pryor's Which Way Is Up.
He said,
The Five Heartbeats is a must watch.
my
I
album
wish
comes out
all
next
these
week.
singers and rappers would watch it and learn from it. Stop selling out and crossing over. But that's another story.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flash is Lonely at the Top.
Man.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Where's
right.
Trey Hop? I'm gonna get a T-shirt. Baby. Where's Trey Hop?
Yeah, well, I can't get a T-shirt because he hasn't paid his dues, and I got collective podcast bills, so no T-shirts yet.
I have a T-shirt.
At least
house.
At least pay your dues, so I can pay for StreamYard and the other stuff I pay for. All right, so listen, I want to get serious about football real quick. Well, all right, let's go back to basketball, and then we'll come to football. So I still say Philly. I know that Brooklyn did something. They picked up James Harden, so they kind of made things a little more difficult on me because I thought Philly would run away with the conference. I'm very impressed with Milwaukee still being within 3 games of the top. I don't know if they have enough to get over the top, but I think that they stay in the top 3. My question to you guys is, who gets the 1 seed? We're not saying who wins the Eastern Conference in, the Eastern Conference Finals, but who gets the 1 seed? Does Brooklyn hold on, or does Philly take it back? And when I say take it back, I mean, Philly was holding the top spot until James Harden went to Brooklyn.
I'm waiting for the infinite
I think Brooklyn will keep it.
Yeah,
I think Brooklyn will keep it. I don't really think it means anything to Philly to have it, but they're only a half a game apart. But I think Brooklyn will keep it because I'm guessing Durant will be back and playing regularly soon. I don't know. These guys are missing games with like calf strains for like 3 months at a time. I don't know. I don't even know who's really injured and who's not. It's just too hard to tell.
It's called tender love, man. Tender love. Tender love.
Can't get with this new generation, man. And people call me like old school, say I'm stuck in the old era. But I mean, like, play. If you can play and you're not injured, play. You want that check for 82 games? Play 82 games.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I
so all right, so we know that Brooklyn has injuries. What's up with Philly? They are 5-5 in their last 10, and I know you follow them. That's your squad, and that's who I've chosen to get that number 1 seed. What's up with them?
We got a couple injuries too.
Okay.
Tobias has been out.
Oh, that's my guy. He's out.
Yeah,
okay.
So that's a big piece, man. So I think a lot of teams, as I saw my fantasy team, I had 4 dudes just sitting out, healthy scratches. Like Rodney said, man, if these dudes are going to rest up for the playoffs, I'm not sure who's going to finish in the top seed.
Okay.
But I still have Philadelphia winning the East. I think we're a great matchup for the Nets, even when they had full power. They have no answer for Embiid, even though they have, DeAndre Jordan and a couple of other young guys that can get up. But I think Embiid has found a little sweet spot right there on the elbow, and he can get down, or he can shoot that turnaround right there. So I think that's in the playoffs, you need go-to easy bucket, and I think that's where Philadelphia is going to prevail, because I think all the ISO that the Nets do at some point, that's not going to be enough in the playoffs. And Steve Nash being a first-time playoff coach, it'd basically be Kyrie coaching, James Harden coaching, and KD coaching, and you know how that goes. So I think they'll win. Just like the Heat, they'll probably win next year. But I believe this year the Sixers, it's theirs to lose. I like the Bucks too, but then again, all you gotta do is put a couple guys in the middle for Giannis and make him shoot threes. And I'm not even sure who their second option is. I've seen Drew Holiday do anything impressive. The Heat are always there. They got Hart, they got Adebayo, they got Butler, they got shooters. But I still think Philly is the cream of the crop in the East.
Bam, bam. Pun intended.
I agree.
Philly. All right.
Yeah.
So check this out. If Elaine, what do you think? So check this out. If they did the thing that we've been talking about for years, and they took conferences away for the playoffs and just seeded everybody. Just an update: the Lakers are 8 right now, 8 overall in the league, and they would face Dallas in the first round. Dallas would be the 9 seed, and the Lakers would be 8 overall. And if the Lakers got past Dallas, then conceivably you would have the Lakers face the Jazz in the second round because it would be 8 against 1. Just throwing that at you.
I have a new. I vote for a new tender love. It is Kristaps Porzingis. He's tender. He's so tender. So
So tender.
Don't worry about the Mavericks. The Mavericks will be. Don't worry about the Mavericks. The Lakers will cut through them like hot knife on butter, man. It's gonna be all right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so to be clear, they don't have to play the Mavericks. That would only have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so right now the matchup is Denver. It's the Lakers at Denver, and even if the Lakers overtake them, it would be Denver at the Lakers. So that's the matchup that looks like it's going to happen. Lakers and Denver, but Dallas, could have something to say about it. I guess Portland could have something to say about it, but then again, this is too easy. This is a layup. And I got to get back to football. But when we talk about Anthony Cobb's definition of clutch, which is similar to
we're done with that, right?
Report.
Elaine gonna turn off. She gonna
turn off. Which is similar to Bleacher Report's definition of clutch. They come to the realization that Damian Lillard, not Dillard, my bad. Damian Lillard, shout out to Louisiana, Dillard University. Damian Lillard is, the most clutch in the league over the last year. And I'm sure if you would stretch it out, you might say there's 2 years. And at some point we get Clay in the conversation. But all right, so Damian Lillard. So this is my point. And I am a big Damian Lillard fan. I don't give a crap when you're 2-8 over your last 10. You don't make the playoffs more than you do make the playoffs, and then you don't win playoff series. Yes, he had that one big shot where he did win the playoff series. So not only did he win the game, but he won the series. Great. But overall, I think that there's so much more to clutch. But I always joke when we talk about whether or not Steph is the most clutch and all that. Listen, clutch, Steph is a favorite of mine, but when I know the definition of clutch as it pertains to this conversation, so I know it's Lillard, but I think it matters that you're 2-8. Like, we don't care who's clutch on the Orlando Magic, and they have basically the same record over the last 10. They're 1-9. Who's clutch on the Detroit Pistons? We don't care, but they're 3-7. They have a better record than Damian Lillard and his Portland Trailblazers over the last 10. But that's all I'm saying. All right, we're off of clutch. We're off of clutch. We'll see what happens with the Lakers. All right, let's talk about it, guys. Justin Fields. This is something. When the 49ers started talking about potentially taking Trey Lance over Justin Fields, I was like, they don't want to take the black guy? And then I realized, okay, they're both black, so can't do that. All right, let's see what's going on, because I didn't know who Trey Lance was. Trey Lance is from South Dakota State, right?
I think Trey Lance is actually Trey Hop. That's what the problem is.
That is hilarious. All right. You know what you just made me think about? I did bad business with.
You've never seen them both the same place at the same time, right? It's the same.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. That's what Trey Hop is. He's trying out for the league.
I had a business partner before Marcel, but on a much smaller scale, who also burnt me. His name was Lance. Yeah, Lance, if you're out there, F you, because he owes me some money too. All right, moving on. All right, so with the Lance thing. So the 49ers started talking about Trey Lance, and it was like, who is this kid? But then I looked him up, and I'm like, okay, well, this kid is legit. So obviously, I don't think that they should be talking about Mac, and I think they've moved on from him. But it became, will it be Fields or will it be Lance with the number 3 pick for the 49ers? And now it's been announced that Justin Fields is battling epilepsy and may or may not have outgrown it. That's what they say. He might have outgrown it. But he's been managing it with meds. And if you have GMs that are looking for a reason not to take a black quarterback anyway,
that's another strike, ain't it?
does this enable them to pile on, or are we past that now? And like with the rise of Kyler Murray, Jackson, I mean, obviously Russ has been doing it for a minute, but with lately with Kyler Murray, Jackson, our guy in Philly,
Jalen Hurts.
Someone's trying to lower his value to snatch him later. If he's been playing with epilepsy his whole life, what difference does it make now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have
obviously he hasn't had a seizure during a game.
So I want to play. I normally play devil's advocate right here, but I'm not. I'm actually going to answer you, and it's going to strengthen your point. He's been playing with it his entire life and hasn't been a multimillionaire with, billion-dollar facilities and medical staff to do more for him.
Right.
Now that would be available
to him, yeah.
So you would think that it would only be a better situation now. So listen, that from my sources say, and I'm normally you would laugh when I say this, but you guys know that I am actually a journalist. Sources tell me that the 49ers were leaning toward Trey Lance anyway, but that just means that the 49ers would take Trey Lance and not take Justin Fields. But there should be no other quarterback taking over him. What's the kid's name from Alabama? I know it's something Mac or Mac something, but I keep wanting to say Mac Brown.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, yeah.
Who? Mac Jones.
So I don't know who's the next team up that needs to take a quarterback, and are they looking at? Tell me, is Justin Fields going to drop? And is somebody looking to take a quarterback not going to take a quarterback because of the epilepsy, the black quarterback with the epilepsy, or will he be all right?
I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right. What Alabama quarterback has done well? Which one?
You. Just you,
right? Just ride and Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Life is like a box of chocolate.
Honestly, if you're taking a player from Alabama, if they're not a linebacker or a defensive lineman, they don't do well.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells you it's a scheme thing.
Okay. I want to announce to everyone, I got a clown Rod, even though he sent it to us in confidence. Rod said, my phone won't charge. It may die soon. To be clear, Elaine, Uncle Roy, he's got an Android. His Android won't charge, and it may die soon.
I have an old cord. It's plugged.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about your old Android cord. Like, why?
It's not letting me be great right now.
That goes without saying. If you got something, if Roddy has something, it's old. You don't even have to say it. It's old something. Old heads have old phone chargers.
And as a matter of fact, his favorite Howard T-shirt was literally the first T-shirt ever made. Like, it's that old.
They weren't even the Bison yet. They were still just Howard's.
Yeah.
You know what?
It was
we should be a Buffalo. Nah. That's not.
I think that was back in the days when they were just the Howard College of Education, and then a couple of years later it became Howard University. So yeah, wow.
No, I would say I agree with Rod though. I think the negative press about Justin Fields is simply they've seen too much of him in college football. Like they saw him play in the big stage, and they weren't impressed in the 2 big games he had this year. I think someone's making a mistake. I think he's at the least the second best quarterback in the draft. I think he definitely has proven himself to be a good quarterback. He's had a couple of games where he wasn't outstanding, but he's still very effective. He's battle tested. I watched him on QB1, and he's the most impressive quarterback that's been on the show for as far as being a leader from a young age and going to Georgia, going through the adversity there and transferring to Ohio State. I don't always applaud transfers, but I think he was one of the situations where you have to go. If you're at racist Georgia and they pick the white kid over you for no apparent reason except for he's the white kid, and that's kind of where I was going. Like Justin Fields way better than Jake Fromm, and he went to Ohio State and proved it, and he balled out at Ohio State. He was the leader of the petition to get Ohio State back on the field, and they got there, and they got to play, and they played well. I don't see how his draft stock's dropping except for the unknown of Trey Lance, the unknown of Mac Jones, the unknown of the kid from BYU. I think a lot of teams are doing a mistake by drafting these guys so high. How many first-round quarterbacks actually become all pros or even Pro Bowlers? Very, very slim, man. So they're going to get Justin Fields in the second, third round if he drops out the first round, and they're going to have one of the best quarterbacks of this draft. So
wait, do we think he's going to fall out of the first round, Kyle?
if they're saying epilepsy, if they're saying it's a medical condition, they'll do whatever they can. If Deshaun Jackson dropped out the first round and he's a first round kid, you know what I'm saying? Like it's happened. If they put one black eye on the kid, that's one reason not to pay him first round money. And the rookie contract is 3 years. If they can get Justin Fields for second round money for 3 years, they will.
Yeah.
So I could see the Patriots taking Justin Fields. Yeah, it's a cool game.
You know Belichick will take him in a heartbeat.
Oh man. He'll say, the kid has epilepsy. Oh, he's a bad. Hey man, make sure we get Justin Fields, soon as we can.
Yeah.
It's a cold game.
That's depressing. If he wow.
It's cold.
Well, and the proof is there because remember that happened with Teddy Bruschi when the Patriots took him in the second or third round. He was a guaranteed locked top 10 at one time.
It spread a rumor.
Coming out of Arizona. Yeah. And then they said something was going on with his health, and he fell. I think he fell all the way to the third round.
Mm-hmm.
But the Patriots snatched him up, and he made all that money back. That's for sure.
Yeah, he did. Still making it. Making good money now as a broadcaster.
Right.
So I don't.
Well, listen. I'm sorry. I don't care about Teddy Bruschi one way or another, but that's a good point. But let's talk about it. Let's not talk about it long because Rodney's phone is dying. He made all that money back. The problem is he made a lot of money, but he didn't make all that money back because you can't make the first round money back. Like that's the key. If you and I get what you're saying, but I hope they don't do that to this man. I hope they don't do that to this man.
I mean, he's not a quarterback, so I think Teddy Bruschi is doing just fine in post.
Yeah.
These guys are getting at least $500,000 to $1 million. Yeah.
I got that. Yeah. So tell me quickly why Aaron Rodgers dropped because I don't remember, but I know he stayed in the first round, but he was like the 24th or 25th pick, right?
Arm mechanic. They didn't like his placement of the ball.
And they said he had a little chip on his shoulder where he was hard to deal with. They said since he was a junior college kid before Berkeley, they're like, well, how is he a junior college kid and then he goes to Berkeley? Is he a good student or is he not? Like, is he serious about this or is he not? So Aaron Rodgers is a thinker. He's on Jeopardy hosting. He's different than most guys. So they just thought that was an attitude problem. So they were like, we'll take him a little bit later, but we don't know for sure if he's going to be dedicated to the sport. It's too easy for him.
Okay. Thank you for that. And
then my cousin dropped completely out of the draft.
Who's that?
Lyle Collins.
The Cowboys should trade him too, just like the Ravens. That's the smart thing to do. Trade your offensive line.
They thought he was involved in that case of that lady getting killed, and she was pregnant. They didn't draft him. He was supposed to be the first tackle off the board in the first round at like number 3, and they didn't select him. And I know several teams who needed an offensive tackle that particular year. And my mom called and she's like, "Hey, Rob, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Look, if he wasn't selected in the top 10, he's not getting selected."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Why do are you sure?" And I said, "Trust me, I've seen this before. He didn't get selected in the second round, third round, fourth round. His agent called all the teams and said, 'Hey, he's taking a polygraph. He didn't have anything to do with it.' They didn't care. They wanted to get him as low as possible and snatch him up with a low draft pick so they wouldn't have to pay him." So his agent calls back and says, "Hey, if you don't select him on the first day, he's not going to come to your team on the second day. So you'll just waste your pick." And so when they got that message, no one drafted him. He didn't get selected. He went to Dallas as a undrafted free agent. I think you can only sign like 3 years, and you can only get 1.5 million. So that's what he did. And then after the first 2 years, Jerry Jones ripped up the contract and gave him a new deal. If you go undrafted, you can sign with anyone. So he signed with the Cowboys, and he's been there ever since.
Did he have a draft party?
Well, my family was, in Chicago for the draft. I don't know if it was a real party, but they were there, waiting for him to get selected. He was at the draft, and he had to fly back to Baton Rouge to meet with a detective, who then told him, "Oh, I'm not in the office. I won't be back until Monday." He's like, "Well, the draft is tomorrow." "Oh, well, you just have to wait." So
that's fucked
teams were afraid, and he lost millions of dollars from that.
It's not funny, but there's nothing more uncomfortable than being at a draft party and the dude don't get drafted. How do you leave? Like, I was at a draft party for a guy. I'm not going to say his name to add no embarrassment, but we were at the draft party. I would tell you the whole family, the neighborhood, we all there just watching the rounds go by. And at some point, it starts getting dark. And people start saying, "Hey, man, I'll holler at you, man. I got to go."
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. The agent sitting there sweating. He's sitting there pacing. Mama's talking trash. And the phone just stops ringing. And you just sitting there like, wow. And I'm just like, "Hey, man, I hope you get picked, bro. I got to roll." And it's just the most uncomfortable time, man. And it's like the worst kind of party to tip out of. Like, you there, you happy for him, you playing dominoes, eating barbecue, and the draft's in the morning, and before you know it, it's 4 p.m., 5 p.m. It's like, bro, you still ain't got drafted. It's like, dang, man, that's cold, man. I don't know if it's bad advice, but all it takes is word of mouth that, hey, yo, this guy's not gonna be this. And before you know it, he's a second round pick to undrafted. It's crazy, man.
Wow. Well, so here's the problem for me. First of all, shout out to Rod, because I went to his draft. Nope, I didn't go to his draft party. I heard about his draft party, and hundreds of years ago, and he was drafted first to be on the construction crew for the Ark. And obviously, we know that turned out well. So shout out to you, Rod. I'm sure you had a great draft party. But speaking of the Lyle Collins situation and other situations like it, the problem that I have with the logic, and I know it's all illogical anyway, but the problem that I have is if you let the man drop, there's no guarantee that you get him. And if you let him drop, then someone else is going to get him, or it's possible that someone else is going to get him at whatever the lesser value is or the lesser price is, and then they have this great value, this great bargain, because it's not like you get to retain the rights and then just draft him later and sign him as the 7th round pick or whatever it may be. You don't get the rights until you draft him. So you're taking a chance. Like when, 49ers passed on Aaron Rodgers. Like he wanted nothing more than to be a 49er. We've been to some Super Bowls since he was drafted. We lost them both. He won a Super Bowl on that horrible organization.
That's the game.
I don't know. I'm not questioning it. We got Alex Smith, but I'm just saying, like, you never know what's going to happen with that person. So just pay the motherfucker. Like
it's poker, man. It's poker. You bluff it, and somebody gonna call your bluff and take somebody. It even goes the other way. You talk a guy up, and he can't play, and somebody will just take him because they think you think he's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the kid from BYU, everybody's talking him up. What's the last BYU quarterback that did something? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's slow our roll. This kid played 1 year. Mac Jones, 1 year. All these guys are 1 year wonders, and they're gonna take a high draft pick quarterback. I mean, Peyton Manning might be the last number 1 pick overall that did something. So it's crazy how they're pumping these guys up. I don't know if you guys watched the last 5 years of college football, but Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are in a class of their own.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they just pumping them up. So
I've never really been sold on Trevor Lawrence. I don't see what the hype is.
DJ's better. I'm not even gonna try to say his last name. The younger kid from Bosco, he's better than Trevor Lawrence to me. So they just made the kid with the long locks and the great storybook quarterback. This guy, like, he's gonna be okay. He ain't gonna be Dan Marino, but he'll be all right.
All right, Rod, how close is your phone to dying?
1%.
All right, let's go. Let's wrap it up. 1%. All right, so listen, thank you everybody for coming. This is episode 58 of the Collective Podcast. We are live. I appreciate you, Elaine. Thanks for coming on. Uncle Roy, thanks for coming on. Roderick, thanks for coming on. Calvin Dean, thanks for coming on. We missed some of our regulars this week. Anthony Cobbs, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. I did say Elaine, right? Obviously, shout out to Elaine. Elaine was the first one on. Let's go ahead and go to the closeout. Just in case, Rod, I'm gonna let you close out first.
1% Rod. 1% Rod.
1%er.
I don't have much, man. Just life is precious.
Wait. Can you hear this? Sorry. No, you can't hear it. Oh. You can't hear that, right?
No.
All right. I'm gonna figure it out. Keep going, Rod.
Yeah, just people are passing away left and right, man. I just lost another college buddy to COVID yesterday. Really good dude. He fought it as much as he could, but he lost his battle yesterday, man. So life is precious. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones.
Yes.
Be safe as much as you can. I know a lot of people are vaccinated, but still just use precaution.
That's right.
And
sorry.
Be careful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, Rod.
Yes, that's too bad.
Condolences, man.
Real quick. All right, let's try this again. Some of you guys can hear this.
Yeah, we can hear that.
No, the music.
No, I can't
keep doing this. Still can't hear it, right?
No. But
the set. Yeah, I know that. I'm trying to get.
Sounds like an open.
Goodness gracious.
Those Apple products.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with Apple. Let's stop that.
That's not like Rodney. That's not like Rodney Pager.
You hear that?
Yeah.
All right. Moment of silence for Shock G.
Everybody do what you like. Do what you like. what you like. I see guys and girls dancing. Yo, go where you like.
All right, go ahead and close out, Cobb.
What was that? Yeah. So I echo what Rod said as far as life being precious. So y'all just be a blessing to somebody today, man. Saturday I'm gonna clean this house. My wife come home tomorrow. I'm gonna clean this house top to bottom, spickety span. I'm gonna bless my wife with a clean house, and just enjoy the day. My son has a little scrimmage later on. I'm gonna blow his hair out so he can look tough. And just enjoy life, man. Just have a good day, good Saturday, and just appreciate you guys throwing me the vine. 7 a.m. is kind of early, but I got up at 7:30 today, so glad I could come on and talk some sports with the fellas, man. So y'all have a blessed one, man. I'll see y'all next time.
Appreciate it.
Have a blessed one. Thanks for coming through. Pops, you got to close out?
Hey, everybody. All right, everybody be safe. It's really a pleasure to hear you guys, man, because you guys are so knowledgeable, and it's it's good for me to just be able to listen. excuse me. So everybody be safe and peace.
All right, peace. So life is not promised. It's truly a gift. So appreciated. Shout out to Elaine. Absolutely. Just every day we're hearing about, seeing about so many things that are just bad. Here's my closeout. Derek Chauvin was convicted of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Maximum of 40 years on the second-degree murder, maximum of 25 years on the third-degree murder, and maximum of 10 years on the second-degree manslaughter. He was convicted on all three counts, so he's facing up to 75 years. And then the U.S. Department of Justice is looking at a 2017 case in which he did something similar to a 19-year-old. That it was an 18-minute episode where he had his foot on the kid's back for 9 minutes, and this dude is the worst, is one of the worst of the worst. He literally single-handedly drained the life out of that man, George Floyd, while his compadres watched and did nothing to stop him. So they need to go down too. And I know their trial will be starting soon. But I thank the jurors for delivering justice.
Yes.
And I thank everyone who showed the world that peaceful protesting is great when it's warranted, but sometimes it's not about a peaceful protest. Sometimes you have to protest with no peace, just because people are not hearing your message. And so I'm glad that seemingly justice was delivered. Up to 75 years. We'll see what he's actually sentenced to, and I hope he goes down for everything else that he's done, and I hope that similar people go down for everything that they've done. And I really do appreciate the good police officers, the ones that actually do serve and protect and serve. And it's very important for us to deliver the message that they are appreciated. But we also have to understand that this doesn't end with George Floyd. Unfortunately, we're still hearing about people getting killed. Someone died yesterday by the hands of multiple North Carolina police officers. We're waiting for the body cam footage, but apparently it was a warrant stop, and that was drug related. All we know is the victim is driving away, whether he's fleeing or not. You shot him up in the back because he's fleeing. Is that what we do? We just shoot you up? And again, I haven't seen the body cam footage, but what I'm saying is George Floyd is not the end. So let's not stop protesting. Let's not stop speaking out. Let's not stop bringing light to the fact that our lives are precious. I used to fear my life being taken by the homies, not the actual homies, but by the people I grew up around, 95th and Hoover. When I made it to 21, I thought I made it because I knew how to deal with cops. I knew to just be like, oh, sorry about that, officer. I didn't realize that. But that doesn't always matter. I still wound up on the ground on Crenshaw and Olympic with a knee in my back and a gun to my head because my taillights were out and I had temporary registration, so I didn't have tags, as they say. Olympic and Crenshaw in the dark. And I did everything right. So you just never know. Like, I might not have made it out of that. Luckily, I did. Yeah, Elaine, I don't understand the quickness to deadly force. So thank you all. Listen, be safe. As Rodney said, prayers to Rodney's friends, family, and Rodney's friends, including Rodney. COVID-19 is a beast. I'm vaccinated. My dad's vaccinated. My mom's vaccinated. My sister's vaccinated. Brianna's scared. She's considering it, but she's scared. But listen, just keep social distancing. Please keep wearing your mask.
Yeah.
And please stay safe. This has been episode 58 of the Collective Podcast Live. We had AC Senior on here. We had AC Sports Live on here. Lots of ACs. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, Rodney Saucier Senior, my man, my mellow. I am AC from LA. We appreciate you. We're almost out, but I got to give you the countdown first.
Well, I always want to say Rodney's phone is amazing. 1%.
Yeah.
10 minutes. That is,
right?
He deserves his props.
Does he? But it won't charge, so I can't give him. No props for an expensive phone that won't charge. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all. I'm not supposed to talk during the countdown, but I'm going to let y'all know we out. Hopefully when the countdown is done, we'll be off, but I never can time it right. In broadcast.
That music is creepy.